Hey everybody, thanks for checking us out again at our kind of weekly showdown here for Off the Record. We got a pretty cool topic today. For those of you that are logging in, give us a like. We'd love to hear from you. Any questions as we go along through here, feel free to comment in. We are checking it. No question is a dumb question.
That's a fact.
Sometimes. But we got a pretty special guest today. I know a lot of you are used to Chase and I's mug, but we got the man, the myth, the legend, Wes Dillingham with us today, who heads up all of our customer success. So a lot of knowledge going to be spewing out of the mouths today. Hopefully you guys stay entertained. But follow us on Twitter, Instagram. You know the drill. For your podcast people, check us out on SoundCloud. A lot of good content and all that stuff. But today we're going to be talking about something that we mention a lot in our different episodes, if you will, but we never really have focused on it and talked about it. And the kind of the topic today is the earth is moving below your feet. What are you doing to move with it? Or for an easier term, what are you doing to change? I'm going to kick it over to Chase to kick us off per usual, but you're going to be hearing some cool stuff today that we talk about what you can do to kind of make it easier for you when it comes to changing. But there's a lot of movement happening in the marketplace. A ton of movement.
Yeah, and I'm putting you on our Instagram story right now, so I do.
Finally made it.
So anyway, yeah, I think it's interesting, and Wes has a ton to add to this, I think. But really, what we've been talking about is, it almost feels like The Big Short.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we talked to all these great.
Well, first of all, what's The Big Short for those of you people out there?
So if you haven't seen The Big Short, it's about the the real estate crisis in '08 with basically the securities that were being sold that were fraudulent that we were talking about at lunch.
Ryan Gosling killed it.
Yeah, murdered it. Steve Carell, but no, honestly, we all. I came across a Gary Vaynerchuk video that was on how successful people think. I highly recommend you look it up.
If you're not familiar with Gary Vee, get familiar with the guy.
Yeah, anything from Gary Vee you should read or
Gary's
listen
incredible.
to.
Yeah, and we shared it. We were talking about it, and the reality is there's just so much shit going on that no one's paying attention to. Everyone thinks it's just business as usual.
Business has been good, right?
Well, yeah, but it's good until it's not. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I had this discussion with my mentor yesterday, who's wildly successful. And it's all going to change on a dime. And one of our advisors is in here working out of an office down there today.
Stacked house today,
Scaled 3 startups rapidly. One of which was acquired for $110 million. And he and I were talking about how building software has changed. And his point was, and you guys will be interested in this, was that we have to build software for our customer's customer. Not for the lumber yard,
right.
For the lumber, or not for the flooring
contractor,
right.
for their customer,
the DIY.
And it's kind of the problem that we deal with sometimes, and we know the demographic where we see this, which is good because we can stay away from it. But we know we're building the right thing. We know how these end customers want to buy, but the markets we operate in are literally just acting like nothing's changed. They're acting like you can do business like it's 1990. It's mind-blowing. And it was you who shared this study the other day that said that, if assuming people have CRM, we're working on an integration with an awesome cloud-based software. You'll hear more about it. They just raised $40 million.
The foreign guys are probably seen it if you've seen FCW or
getting into our space a little bit, and we try to explain to them that there's no CRM in our space, which is CRM again is 20 years old. And if I'm hurting somebody's feelings, I'm sorry, but this is CRM's rudimentary stuff. So anyway, in '08, 87% of CRM implementations were on premise, on site, meaning they were on a server. I guess it was in 16?
Yeah.
It had changed to...
Actually, it says today, yeah.
Yeah, today only 13% are on premise. 87% are on the cloud. Yeah. So I guess it's great for us because when the market gets squeezed, when all these businesses get squeezed, that's when they'll realize, oh shit, it's time for me to do something different. Yeah. And they'll invest in technology, they'll invest in their customer experience, which is something that, you know, by and large, in my opinion, I don't think they've been doing. But it's great for us because, like, we're already where, like, the customers want to be. But what's troublesome is we talk to way too many businesses who just refuse to acknowledge that they need to do things differently, that they need to think about their customer, they need to stop thinking about, you know, oh, well, my people won't use it. I mean, like, you deal with, we'll talk about the lack of leadership that there is in general, where, you know, like, who the hell's running the show here? Mm-hmm. Are you the boss?
Yeah.
Like, or your employees running the show? So, like, there's all of this stuff is going on. Retail is in a recession. You know, the automotive lending market is getting real sketchy. That's probably the next mortgage crash. Maybe not that scale, but it's definitely going to make a dent. You've got student loan issues. You've got, they just announced today rates are going to rise again.
Yeah.
Home prices have doubled. Like, you have to be fucking blind to miss what's going on right now after 9 years almost of growth. Like, we're due for some bumps in the road. So, like, I guess what you know, my point is like, I just want to convey the fact that, you know, the earth is moving underneath all of you. Like, and if you are not adapting, your organization is not adapting to modern consumers, modern customers, the way that people want to do business, not the way you want them to do business, like, someone's going to eat your lunch. It's going to be your competitor. It's going to be
somebody may not even exist today.
Yeah, something might not exist.
Like, we got a compelling case in a very related industry in real estate, which is where we came from. You know, obviously the downturn happened and they were forced to make changes, but out of that sprung a giant killer, if you will, or it's become the giant in Zillow. You know, it came out of a necessity that people wanted information. And at the time that Zillow came to fruition, which was like, what, 04, 05, 06, somewhere in that area. So it's less than 10 years old, or a little over 10 years old, and it's now an $8 billion company. But, you know, at the time, real estate agents were the only ones with the information. And now Zillow gave it to the people, and they exploded. But on the flip side of that, the real estate industry, and the agents in particular, which, you know, very related demographics, you know, appetite for technology at the time, you know, we had that recession hit, which was a big short in 08, 09, 10, and it forced them to change and embrace technology. Well, now they're thriving.
That's what Wes was talking about. I mean,
look at Kelly Williams.
You were talking about taking the franchises back?
Yes. Yeah. And just to highlight the statistic that you just mentioned, I just wanted to add one thing to that is, basically, if you're not on the cloud, you're doing business like 2008.
Yeah.
And you're that far behind.
Yeah.
If you're using a server today, you're one of 13% of all businesses that are using servers.
Yeah.
Local servers, I should say.
Yeah.
And you're not on the cloud, and you're that far behind, and it's going to take a lot to catch up.
Well, think about what's changed since 08.
Well, why does that matter? Yeah, right? Why does that matter?
The iPhone was a year old in 2008. The iPad didn't exist. Snapchat, Instagram didn't even exist.
Yeah.
Like, there was
again, you don't think these companies are springing up out of nowhere, and, you know, to become your competitor or eat your lunch. Yeah, I got a long list of people to go talk to that happened to them.
And that's the difference between even in 2000 when everybody thought, oh, brick and mortar's dead. It didn't die because there wasn't a phone.
Right.
Now there's a phone that everybody's making orders on. That's why retail is in a serious mess right now. Traditional retail.
E-commerce was a joke.
And don't think for a second that
right.
This industry isn't lagging behind.
Well, here's a good one too. So, and this is something, food for thought for everyone watching. A lot of the venture-funded e-commerce companies are getting into brick and mortar. And the difference between a venture-funded company and your traditional corner retail shop is that a venture-funded company has a board of directors with investors who demand returns, who demand month-over-month growth, and they have really deep pockets. So even if you're a $50 million business, like if a sharp e-commerce and funded company comes into your space and starts setting up brick and mortar, guess what they're bringing with them? Their entire customer experience, all of their technology, the fact that they're omnichannel, because we've been talking about getting people on Shopify, so you can, or listing your inventory at least on Google, so people say, oh, so-and-so's got this in stock, I'm going to go take a look. Like, I mean, it's a great time to be, like, in tech, because, the earth is shifting, which is great for us.
Right.
But, like, we want everyone who's been doing.
Well, it's a great time for them too.
It's great.
It's a great time for the people who are taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah,
that's like a generational thing.
Like, if you're taking advantage of this opportunity,
this is coming along.
Like, if you think you're killing it now, like, you take advantage of that, you will be destroying it. And if you don't, here's the problem. Like, this isn't about just, oh, you're going to miss a growth curve. It's like, this is where business is going. So it's you either do this or you're out. You might not be out today, but 5 years from now, I don't know. I mean, how many of the Pro Sales Top 100 lumberyards are still around 20 years later?
45%.
That's it.
Less than half.
Okay. And that's over a 25-year period.
Yeah, that's 1992. Less than half.
Okay. So that's like
and
that's
here's the thing too. It's not that long. It's early 90s. Everybody remembers the 90s when everything was great. But here's the thing with retail too. It's always been location, location, location. That's traditional.
We're way overstored.
What's a better location than your phone now?
Right.
For e-commerce. What's better than that?
There's
nothing.
No, there's nothing, because local mobile search is so big.
Yeah.
That's why online reviews are so big.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do for brick and mortar retail. I think that's
the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So you go from a standalone location where people have to drive by to see you, or rely on word of mouth, which has been great previously probably for your company. But why rely on that when you can have an e-commerce platform or do some local advertising, and now you're in front of exponentially more people?
Well, and not only that, it's not even so, like, let's back up for a second, because this is part of the change too. That is great. So even if you're not thinking about growth, think about it from a local perspective.
Yeah.
Because not only, like, forget being in front of more people, like a larger number of people, but if you're listing your inventory and someone's searching for you locally, you're going to show up as having what they're searching for, which is another way for you to get in front of someone who can then come to your yard, come to your store. Like, it's another way. That is how people are finding out. Like, if someone knows that you have an item in stock, they are 78% more likely to show up at your place of business. This is just math.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
80% of people are doing the research online before they even walk in the store.
And I think that's higher now. That's stats from like 2012.
Yeah.
So I think, I guess, like, the message is like, get with it.
Yeah.
Well, get
And like, technology is not the bad guy here. Like, it exists so you can leverage it.
Leadership is the bad guy.
And it really is, because it exists to make your life easier. It exists to allow you to leverage it to get in front of more people, or if you got too many people that you know what to do with, to service them better. I mean, shoot, I'm looking at a statistic right here. It says, 12% of people are willing to pay more for better customer service. Now, that's not saying that what you're doing today, I'm sure a lot of you do have a great customer service, but throw a dart, pick up the phone, call any competitor in town, and ask them, what makes them different? And they're going to say customer service. So what really makes...
And then go read their Yelp, and their Yelp gets ripped.
What really makes
were you about to say something, Wes?
Customer service.
I was just going to build on one of the things that you said about the brick
keep
and mortar.
building off Chase. That's fine.
Well, the brick and mortar thing, it's an interesting thing to think about. If you're building a business and you want to have brick and mortar and you're established online, which would you rather do? Start with brick and mortar and go to online?
Well, now you have to start online.
Exactly. And those people have an advantage. They have data. They know their customers better. They know their business better. They know where to put brick and mortar.
Yeah.
It's a completely different way to look at retail business.
And they're thinking about their customers. Everything they do is about their customers.
It's about making it a better experience.
Yeah, it's not this whole, like, what you hear even from, like, we've got a lot of great customers, but some of them are so, well, we can't make people use this thing that we bought that we know that we need, but we can't, like,
why not?
Get the hell out of the way. Because,
why not?
Exactly.
Why not? Get the hell out of the way.
Who the hell who's in charge here?
Yeah.
So, like, to your point about, knowing where to put the brick and mortar, again, this is just a fundamental difference. Like, modern businesses now are thinking about how their customers not want to buy, not how they want to do business, not how their sales manager has done business. They're not thinking about what they've done, and they're not bitching about Home Depot, they're not bitching about Lowe's. Like, what was the quote? Winners think about winning, losers think about winners.
Yeah.
Like it's really simple. So either evolve or get the hell out of the way, because you're not just going to be in the path of progress. Like this last 9-year curve, where like we've been growing at this anemic, frankly, rate that's been under 2%. It's coming to an end. Yeah. Like, and everyone's like, well, home prices doubled. That's because they were so low. Well, dude, that's because they got so overinflated.
Let's just put it this way: nobody saw the real estate market crash until it was already in progress, and it was completely unstoppable. And that's what's going to happen this time. Same thing. We're not going to know what's going to cause it. It's going to be in process. It's going to happen. It's going to be devastating to a lot of businesses. So
invest while it's good.
And exactly. And start thinking in terms of that's what I mean. Like, now is the time to take advantage of. You've got some capital. Reinvest it. Start learning about what's gonna make you more competitive tomorrow, not today. I love the quote. You guys keep bringing up a great concept that Wayne Gretzky talks about. He was great because he skated to where the puck was going, not to where it was at that moment. And that's what we're talking about here, getting your business to where business is going, not to where it is today. And in order to do that, you got to be on the cloud. You have to have a CRM. You have to be managing an omni-channel business where you're able to access online leads, online business, bringing people in the door, whether it's servicing them online or in the brick and mortar.
Let them buy how they want to buy. Don't make it hard for them to buy from you.
Yeah, and don't be stuck in a traditional strategy. Start to think in terms of what is happening now and what's going to happen in the future.
And it is happening.
Not do what you've always done. And
because the world is turning.
Yeah, exactly.
So FCW, the Forthcoming Weekly, I mean, front and center on their page, this latest issue, it says sales have been stagnant across the country. Like, it's already happening. Like, same thing with what we saw with the spring market for real estate. It's supposed to be the busiest time of year. The spring is always the busiest time of year. And it's steadily decreased through CoreLogic's numbers in terms of home sales. That doesn't happen.
Let's look. So think about that. So affordability for home ownership is obviously...
and millennials are the highest, or for the last 4 years, millennials have been the generation that's bought more homes than anything else. Yet there's still more millennials than any other generation that can't afford it.
Fed raises interest rates and sets plan to shrink the balance sheet. So they're raising rates again. So that's going to be another blow to an already overinflated housing market. So it's like this remodel shit, this building shit, like, guys, invest in doing things differently. Like,
and if you listen to the Fed minutes, if you listen to any experts, we're in the middle of an experiment right now.
Yeah.
The experiment to lower interest rates to bolster the economy did not work the way the Fed expected. Now they're stuck with super low interest rates that are negatively impacting the business world, and it's not stimulating the economy like it thought. So they're going to raise interest rates. Another experiment.
Yeah.
Which they're not sure exactly what the response is going to be. And there's a lot of things. Economics is not an exact science. It's a philosophy. They don't know all the impact that raising interest rates. So we're really it's a really interesting time. I mean, you got the political piece. Yeah. You've got rates going up. You've got millennials have more debt than any other generation.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Boomers want interest rates up because they want to retire.
Yeah.
They want to get out of McMansions. Millennials want to live in apartments or condos.
Yeah. So let's
craziness.
Let's talk about millennials for a second.
I'm not one, by the way.
So we fucking are. Yeah. So like a great example. Looking at a potential hire, like you look at someone, a millennial who's making $100,000 a year, call it, like, great living.
Nice round number.
And then it's easy. Everybody can do math off 100, right? Yeah. So But like,
I'll struggle.
You look at, well, yeah, I don't do math good, but it's okay.
Math real good.
I'll make it sound good. So basically, you look at these millennials and they buy a home, so they stack on, if they do buy a home, right, which they're the bulk of the home buyers now.
Yeah.
So buy homes, so they have a mortgage. So let's say they're buying,
home buyers,
and maybe they're spending $200,000 on a house, something like that. So they're probably putting, I don't know, 20%, 30% down.
Nah,
So
not even close.
Okay.
They can't afford that.
okay, so
they can get it for less. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say they've got at least $100,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Then $60,000 in student loans. That's a number I literally just heard from someone who's a couple years younger than me.
And I'm sure consumer debt's between 10 and 20, maybe even more.
Right, and then probably as a card payment. So it's like, the buying power that the millennials have, very important. But the problem is that it's very volatile because of the fact that they're living on cash flow.
Yep.
So they're not going to continue, like buying houses, doing like remodels, stuff like that, and then you have any disruption to their cash flow is going to change their buying habits. Yeah. Second thing is, I picked up flooring for a friend of mine the other day. She just bought a condo.
How old is
she? She's 23.
Okay. That's the demographic.
She needed someone to. She needed to borrow my truck basically to pick it up. So
is that awesome owning a truck?
Yeah, everybody's. I'm a dumb truck driver, so I can't do math. So she doesn't even bother to go to like a retail specialty store. Literally went 3 places.
What 3 places?
Home Depot, Lowe's, Floor and Decor. Saw they had what she wanted online.
Yeah.
Went in.
All of them.
Liked the experience better at Floor and Decor.
Really?
Which is different than customer service.
Right. It like the showroom was clean. She liked the layout was cleaner. There wasn't shit everywhere.
Samples
like some of the showrooms you've been in training. Like, dude, it's like beige walls, beige carpets, product samples everywhere. Like, no one likes this. We're used to shopping at Apple, man. Like, even like you say you're not a millennial, but I know you shop at Apple.
Oh yeah.
Like, so you get it. I mean, so literally
millennial at heart.
Walk in, definitely millennial at heart. I walk in, I pull my truck around the back. They have a like little waiting area, computerized inventory system. Like everything is basically taken care of. They sign on a smartphone and you're off. Like they take a little forklift, put it in my truck, and I hauled it down there. I mean, like that was it. Like,
so picture that experience, and then just take a step back, be objective about your own operation and if it stacks up to that experience. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah, I was curious to me because literally the first thing I asked her was, did you go to like a regular retail store? She's like, no, why would I do that? And like that sucks. That sucks. Yeah. I come from a 130-year-old family business. Granted, like we were wholesale, we had a ton of retail customers.
I would argue the experience lies with this specialty retailer for
theoretically, but the issue is that like I mean, you've even got look, and like honestly, man, like hats off to the industry press, like, but I think you guys suck at covering technology, like they do. Yeah. Like they're not interested in actually bringing in.
Regurgitated. It's the same.
Like when.
Servers in the back room type software that are just trying to now start to move to the cloud.
Yeah,
they aren't really doing it.
They'll listen to you like as long as you're spending whatever. I'm not even going to get going on that, but it's like there needs to be more awareness around all of this stuff. The e-commerce, I don't see jack shit about e-commerce and anything. Yeah. I see nothing about like anything customer experience related. Like they're just now grabbing onto this lead management thing, which is one part of CRM. Like it's like, guys, like there's a reason. Like there's specialists in certain fields. It doesn't have to be like we're building products. We do a lot of industry specific type stuff. But like we're specialists in CRM, we know the industries, but like don't just because you built software in 1980, like in you
it doesn't
focus
translate
on one,
necessarily.
It doesn't. It doesn't make like. And the sad part is like that is all of this. We did a thing on vendors holding you back. That's all part of why retail's in the situation that it's in. across the board.
Exactly.
Just being misled all the time.
Yep.
They're keeping you in 2008.
Yep. Exactly. A couple things I wanted to comment. One of which, what an incredible time to differentiate yourself.
Yeah.
Like
no
every
doubt.
flooring company is the
opportunity.
exact same. If you walk into any flooring store, exact same.
It's the same thing with
you
kitchen and bath.
You can
yards.
literally differentiate yourself by cleaning house, opening up your space, doing something creative, doing something interesting, giving people
reinvesting in your company,
a crazy experience from the minute they walk in the door, adding follow-ups, adding conversations, sending
actually
them emails,
caring about your customer.
and doing touching
and
them.
not just the people that say, I want to buy today.
Exactly. That's the worst
that's
part
easy,
of it.
that's easy.
The email,
your order taking.
the email we just got from one of our customers that went out as a manager because one of his salespeople sold a customer that was entered into our system as a lead in August of 16.
Yep. August. $5,000 deal. Probably peanuts for that company, but
but
that's,
I mean
that's money they wouldn't have had.
The manager alone made $500 off that.
Exactly.
You know, so the salesperson probably made a multiple of that.
Exactly.
You know, so I mean, I think that's all. That's again, like you have to follow the sales process. Like always, it's a wonderful time for opportunity, but we just had to be real with everyone about the fact that change is happening. It's happened, and it's like it's about catching up now. And once you catch up, you can think about getting ahead.
And unfortunately, I think you may or may not be aware, when the change happens, when the market turns, a lot of times for many people it's too late.
It is.
They can't turn their business.
You saw that in real estate.
And I was just going to say, in real estate, I spent 3 years during the market downturn shutting down RE/MAX franchises.
Listen to these guys. Thank you, everybody.
Chase. Shutting down RE/MAX franchises who were unwilling to make the adjustments that needed to be made as the real estate market turned, as technology became more prevalent in real estate, and during that downturn, numerous companies like the Zillows of the world popped up and became powerhouses because the real estate industry was not ready and prepared for the turn that occurred. And people are desperate. They're desperate for any lead they can get. They're desperate for any business they can get. So they're looking to any resource possible. Zillow is one of those resources. That's going to happen eventually. The well will dry up. And
starting to with Wayfair.
Yeah, and if your business isn't in the right shape and in the right form for that change, it's gonna be tough. And that's basically our goal, our job, our whole dream is built around trying to help bring lumber into the 21st century from a technology standpoint and from a customer service, customer experience standpoint.
That's why we put out all this free content. Essentially, you know, we'd love to work with you. We'd love to have you on our product because it definitely pays dividends. But more importantly, it's about driving it across the board in all areas and all departments of your company, from the showroom experience when a customer walks in to your own customers or your own people who are your own customers, giving them the tools that are necessary to compete in 2017. You know, a lot of people keep coming back to, I've been doing the same thing for 10, 12, 15 years. Whatever it is, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Fear of change.
Yada, yada. It's bullshit.
Fear of change.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Fear of change.
And at the end of the day, what's that quote that...
the Jack Welch?
Yeah, the Jack Welch quote, yeah. If the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end is near.
Yeah.
Think about that. Let it sit in. Soak it up, because that's what's happening. It's a commitment to the way we've been doing business for 30 years, and it doesn't cut it in any industry, in any business anymore. And it's happened already in a lot of different industries, and it's starting to happen in the one we live in currently.
Yep.
I mean, shoot, Mohawk already did $100 million for one manufacturer last year. That's going to compound as other manufacturers jump on board, as the years start ticking away. 75% of the workforce is going to be millennials by 2025. And right now, they already make up 52% of the DIY market. So think about these statistics, and I've thrown a lot of numbers at you guys, but these are real. You have to care. It's no longer enough just to be in your business, opening the door and waiting for people to come in, maybe doing a little advertising here and there, and then provide an excellent customer service when they already come in and say, hey, I want to buy. It takes more than that to run a business in 2017. It takes putting out content. It takes delivering systems for your people. It takes having processes. You know,
holding your people accountable.
You're not best friends with your employees. You're the boss. You got to take a leadership position. You got to steer the ship in the right direction, and provide an opportunity for them to capture the today and tomorrow's consumer. I mean, that's what this is all about: is the changing customer.
Exactly. And it starts with you as the leader. As the leader of the business, they're looking to you to show them the way. They're looking to you to lead the way, lead the store, lead the company into the future.
How often do we hear my people won't use it?
Yeah, that's
I can't get my people to use it.
That's a frustrating one to hear, because I always have to ask myself, well, who's in charge over there? Who owns the store? Who's running the store?
Yeah, well, why not? Why can't you?
Yeah, and to me, it's a matter of if your business is that important to you, then you will do whatever it takes to make sure the people that are in your store working for you represent you the way you want to be represented. They're an extension of who you are, an extension of your business. And if you're not holding them accountable, if they're, and it's amazing. This industry is wrought with a lot of pushback from employees that I am shocked to hear when people say, "Oh, this is Big Brother," or "They're holding me accountable," or "They want to see my leads." Hell yeah, they do. You work for them. And they should be accountable to you for the results. If you're not accountable for the results,
go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's just business.
Yeah.
And it there's too much. It's personal, and when it is business. It's business. It doesn't mean anything has to be negative, and there has to be any kind of conflict with somebody. But if they're not accomplishing the goals that you've set out for them, then you have to have those tough conversations in order to keep your business moving forward.
Yeah. What do you have to hide? You know, essentially is what it comes down to. You know, and again, it all comes back to helping you do your job better. You know, it's a lot of it's for their own protection. And, you know, again, it's not always about you as the employee. It's about the customer. And that's the focus. That's where you should have all of this, you know, at the end of the day. So
one of the great things that I think we do as a company is, for lack of a better term, hold your hand through the process. You're not alone in this. I think that's one of the things I see a lot of is people are overwhelmed. They're a little bit like a deer in headlights with what they see ahead. They know things are changing, but they don't know how to. They don't. Yeah,
normal.
Absolutely normal.
Totally normal.
They don't know how to change, but staying still, freezing in the midst of the headlights is not the answer. Taking some action and taking small steps now to just keep things moving in a good direction. Again, remember what I said earlier. 2008, 88% or 87% of businesses were server based. Now 87 or 88% are in the cloud. Baby steps can get you to where you need to be. And it can happen relatively quickly, and you can have the key things in place to transform your business into a business that's equipped for online business, for in-store business, for order direct online, whatever it may be. There's little things you can do, and we can help with that.
Point in the right
that
direction,
transition.
some other opportunities.
Exactly.
We're not saying you brought up a really good point. We're not saying that, hey, tonight you gotta overhaul your website, overhaul your internal systems, overhaul your sales process, overhaul your product catalog, overhaul your store floor. We're not saying to do all that in one night.
Right.
This is a process, but you got to start.
Yeah.
You got to
start chipping away at stuff, or it's gonna be one of those moments where you're like, we need to update everything all at once, and also bring our people on board, and that's just such a hard ship to turn when you wait until it's almost too late.
So pick something, whether it's your website, whether it's your CRM, whether it's a new POS, whether it's updating your showroom floor, whatever it is. Pick something, put your foot forward, and start down the path of what the modern showroom needs to look like, and it needs to have the experience. And that comes back to everything too. When it comes to, we'll see you later. Comes back to everything that you talk about, everything in the process. You know, everything from picking up the phone and answering the phone with your name. Professionally, yeah. Name, store, and how can I help you, as opposed to, yeah, hello. Think about that experience.
Kyle's calling stores yesterday and had 3 or 4 situations where the guy on the other end doesn't ask for his name, doesn't ask if he can help with anything because Kyle called asking for somebody else. Kyle could be a customer with a multi-million-dollar deal, and this guy's just
know I'm a vendor.
He's not here. Talk to you later.
You have no idea I'm a vendor. So I get it. If you hate vendors, I understand. Definitely understand. But it's all of this to create. You got to have your thumb on this. You can't just plug and play and think things are okay. Because shortly after you're gonna find they're not. And this is a different time than what it was 10 years ago and what it was 20 years ago. And we gave the stat out about the pro sales top 100 from 25 years ago. The same stat applies to the Fortune 500. We're talking about the 500 biggest companies in the country, and less than 50% of them are still around, and that over the last 10 years, not even 25, 10 years. Less than 50% are still here.
That's crazy.
So if you don't think it can happen in your neck of the woods, in your corner, or things aren't changing in your area, you have blinders on. You got to pick your head up. If you're a home improvement fan, Tim the Tool Allen, the neighbor, you got to pick your head up, get it above the fence, and start making some of these changes. And we'll help. We'll absolutely help. Whether you want to talk to us about our product or what we recommend when it comes to an e-commerce platform or a new POS system, inventory, whatever it is, showroom design concepts, we are here to help in any way that we can, and we want to. That's why we make these videos. That's why we do our audio, our podcast. All of this stuff is designed to help you create the modern experience that these customers expect and will come to expect in an area. That way you're ahead of the curve and you're setting the pace as opposed to just playing catch up, with the nearest home center. So, anything else to add?
No, just make that change.
Yeah,
make that change.
Little MJ.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thanks for everybody. Let's see if anybody commented here. Probably not, because we covered pretty much everything. But cool, awesome. Well, thanks guys. Definitely appreciate you checking us out. Again, give us a like. We'd love to hear from you. Ask any questions you have. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, just chat in. We'll add it to the queue of different topics people want us to kind of jump in and talk about. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at The Lead Tool. For the audio people out there that like to drive in their cars, SoundCloud, we do move this up there, so check us out. Otherwise, thanks everybody for checking us out today, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.